going on, guys? Welcome to the Vikings Now by Chat Sports. My name is Patrick Siepman. Welcome in, and we have a loaded show for you guys today. Found the NFL Scouting Combine. Reports are flying off the walls, and we got a ton of interesting quotes to get to, but mainly around one player, and that is Michigan quarterback J.J. McCarthy, who did officially meet with the Minnesota Vikings at the Scouting Combine, and it seems like he would absolutely love to be QB1 for Minnesota next season. He actually said if he had to pick one wide receiver that he wanted to throw to, it would be none only than Justin Jefferson. But check out this clip about what J.J. McCarthy had to say about his meeting with Kevin O'Connell and the Minnesota Vikings.
It went amazing. Coach O'Connell led the whole thing, and just being able to see him in person, he was a lot taller than I thought, and, you know, Coach McCown, and just everything about what they were talking about, everything about what they wanted out of a quarterback is something with aligns with what I want. And just being able to, you know, get on the board with them, have them go through their plays, it was something really special, and I enjoyed it.
Pretty interesting stuff there from JJ. There's definitely interest from his side, and it makes sense if you think about it. Like, from JJ's perspective, like if you looked at a perfect landing spot for him, he is 21 years old. He definitely still has to, you know, develop a little bit. And if you say you can go sit behind, if the Vikings do bring back Kirk Cousins for a 1 to 2 year deal, sit behind Kirk for a year or two, still be able to develop his own skills, fill out his frame a little bit. He did look a whole lot bigger at the Scouting Combine. There was a report that came out that he was playing this past season at Michigan at around 200 pounds. Well, even in the Combine interview, he looked like he put on a good amount of weight. He clocked in at 219. But I really do think Minnesota would be a great landing spot for JJ. I mean, you just think about it. You would have a all-pro, all-decade receiver in Justin Jefferson, who I think is the best wide receiver in the National Football League and will be for the foreseeable future. Still have T.J. Hockenson, obviously coming off season-ending injury, but I'm thinking more down the line here. Then you would have Jordan Addison entering his prime. And then if Kevin O'Connell works out and, you know, he really is a, you know, great offensive mind, like, you know, we've gotten slight indication that he may be, I think it would be a great fit for the Vikings. And you may, you know, I was originally saying this, you know, before we got into this whole process and we were at Scouting Combine this week, that you could sit at 11 and draft J.J. McCarthy. I think it is more likely than not that he goes in the top 8 picks of this year's draft. I could see even a team trying to slide up there with the Chargers at number 5 overall and select him, because I think no doubt it's going to be Caleb Williams number 1, whether it's the Bears or not. Williams will be the first overall pick. Then I'm pretty certain it is going to be Drake May at 2 or Jaden Daniels at 2, and then the other one will go at 3. But then you got the Cardinals there at 4. Let's just say they are in love with Marvin Harrison and they want to just draft him and stand there. I think the Chargers are in a prime spot to trade out of that pick. I think J.J. McCarthy is almost becoming undisputed the 4th best quarterback in this year's class per NFL GMs. And I would have to agree. I had J.J. as my 4th quarterback in my rankings this whole offseason. And yes, right now, is J.J. the 4th best quarterback in this class? Like, if I had to start one quarterback from the rookie class next season, I'm probably not picking him in my top 5. I'd probably rather go Penix. Probably rather go a guy like Bo Nix just because they're older and more experienced. But with a guy like J.J., you're almost betting on what he will be in a year or two, because he was born in 2003. He is 21 years old. He has the 5-star, the blue chip kind of intangibles where it's like anytime he talks, he answers the question flawlessly at the mic. And I do think that's a very important part of being a quarterback in the National Football League, is how you handle yourself day in, day out. And he won 2 state championships in high school. He won in college. I guarantee you, and I would bet on him winning in the National Football League. But the thing is, with a guy like JJ, I think his landing spot matters a whole lot. Like, if he would go to Tennessee Titans at number 7 overall, I would probably say that's not the best landing spot for him. I don't think they can support him as well as a team like the Minnesota Vikings could. I think the Vikings are the best landing spot for JJ, no doubt. And actually, Dane Brugler did talk about that. He said it would be a perfect fit for both sides, for JJ to really sit behind Kirk for a year. And guys, I hate giving credit to the Green Bay Packers. You guys know this. But you look at what they've done, from Favre, the Rodgers, the Jordan Love. There is something to be said about a quarterback sitting behind, and I'm not calling Kirk an all-time great, but obviously Kirk is a very good quarterback. He handles himself with just how you would want a franchise quarterback to handle himself. Sit behind Kirk for a year or two, put on more weight, really keep on developing his skills. And then you're saying he's 23, 24 years old with 2 years of experience kind of on the bench in the NFL. Jefferson entering his prime, Addison entering his prime. you could really make an argument that J.J. McCarthy would be a perfect fit for Minnesota, and I think it would play both sides. But I got to ask you guys this. I think most of you guys would say, yes, I'll take J.J. McCarthy at 11th overall if he fell there. But would you trade up for J.J. McCarthy? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section. Why for yes and for no? Let me know what you guys have to say. It depends, obviously, on the haul and everything, but I'm probably saying yes. I really do believe in this kid. I think he's going to work out in the NFL, and I think the Vikings would be a perfect landing spot for him to flourish. Coming up in just a second, there was a report from ESPN that the Falcons really are going to go big on Kirk Cousins. We'll get to that in a second, but I do want to first give a huge shout-out to Prize Picks, guys. This is the best daily fantasy sports app out there, and if you guys head to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use promo code CLNS, we will hook you guys up with a first deposit match up to $100. Football season may be over, but the action on the floor is heating up. Whether it's tournament season or the fight for the playoff home court, there's no shortage of high-stakes basketball moments this time of year. Get in on the excitement with Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. You can win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. I absolutely love using Prize Picks. Guys, it adds more juice to these games. Basketball season's heating up. I'm a big hoop head, so every single game I watch, I make sure I use Prize Picks. Put that link for you guys in the comment section and description of today's show. But get hooked up today. Make sure you guys do download the app and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. Prize Picks is daily fantasy sports made easy. Win big money today. Link for that in the comment section and the description of today's show. So there was this report that came out there and it's from ESPN, that the Falcons would prefer Kirk Cousins over Justin Fields. Obviously, we've heard that the Falcons are in on Fields. The trade rumors around that have been swirling, and that's why, if you look on any sports book right now, Justin Fields' next team destination, the Falcons are the overwhelming favorite to land him. But I was just thinking about this, maybe this is my football kind of mind churning a little bit here. And if you're the Atlanta Falcons, I think it makes a whole lot more sense for them to target Kirk than a guy like Justin Fields. Justin Fields, yes, the potential may be higher than Kirk. Like him in a couple years could be special. But Atlanta's got a lot of good weapons, man. They got Kyle Pitts, Drake London. I like what they have there. And I think they would almost prefer a quarterback who can kind of get the ball out on time and with accuracy to their weapons. And I'm sure Atlanta's looking around saying, we got a ton of cap space. We got the 8th overall pick in the draft. We got Bijan Robinson. We get Kirk Cousins in here. We could go make a playoff push in a very poor division. You would bring Kirk into the NFC South. He is no doubt the best quarterback in that division, and the Falcons may have the best roster. And if you believe in Raheem Morris and his coaching staff, they could have the best coaching staff as well in that division. Now you kick it back to the Vikings side of things. If you hear these reports that Atlanta's maybe willing to offer 2 for $90, fully guaranteed, $45 million a year, they're saying, Kirk, we're going to ride with you for the next 2 seasons. If you're Minnesota, what do you do? Because if you don't bring back Kirk Cousins, you think about this. What are you going to pitch to Justin Jefferson on why he should sign that extension? Are you going to say, we're going to go draft a quarterback at 11? Or are you going to say, hey, we are going to move up to number 3 overall? And maybe that's the home run hit for Minnesota. Maybe that's what they're discussing. Saying if we do lose Kirk to free agency to a team like Atlanta who's going to pay him the bag, can we move up to number 3 and pitch that to Justin Jefferson? Well, maybe we'll bring in a guy like Jameis Winston or a Jacoby Brissett to kind of be a bridge quarterback for half a year or maybe in a month during the season. Then you had Drake May or Jaden Daniels kind of sit behind them. But it would be a tough pitch to Justin Jefferson saying, yeah, we're going to lose Kirk. Obviously, we can't bring him back, and we're just going to sit there and draft a guy at 11, and that's going to be your quarterback for the next 5 seasons. It would be a tough pitch for him, but I do ultimately believe, and we were talking about this in the office earlier, the Vikings want Kirk back. Kirk wants to be back with the Vikings. If both those things are true, and you really do both believe that, I think a deal will get done. I have said this. I would offer Kirk 2 for $70, fully guaranteed. It would be $35 million a year, make him around the 15th highest paid quarterback in the NFL. I think it would make a whole lot of sense for the Vikings. They can still splurge in other spots and maybe get another guard or maybe go get a corner in free agency. And then it also opens you up. Your doors are open at that 11th overall pick. You can either go get a corner, you can even sit there and draft a quarterback as well. That's what I would do. That's my perfect plan, but obviously, push would need to come to shove, and Kirk would most likely need to take a discount on that one for it to be the case. But I do want to say thank you guys so much for watching today's video. L3 show for us today. No real graphics. Just had to hop on here quickly and get a video for you guys. Talk about the latest news. Hopefully you guys like that McCarthy clip at the beginning as well. But see you guys next time for a video tomorrow here on the channel. Make sure you guys are subscribed.